Welcome to Creative Living, where we help you live your most creative life. I'm Jane Klaus. Today we're exploring family history and how you can utilize your local library to find out about your past. But before you get out your library card, let's just take a look at what we have coming up on the show. We celebrate World Vegan Month, and we learn the history behind Newport mansions. Plus, how to make a simple pumpkin costume. That and much more on this episode of Creative Living. October is National Family History Month, so we wanted to explore some ways to research our past. So joining us to talk about it is Lee Franklin from the Phoenix Public Library. She's here to talk about the resources available at your local library. Hi, Lee.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, and I love this topic. You know, instead of going to the country of origin, which not everybody can do to find their family, what types of resources do you have at the library to find out family history?
Well, I would say if anybody looking to find out their family history, always one of the first places you can start is your local public library. Here at Phoenix Public Library, and we are very similar to a lot of library systems across the country, we offer a lot of digital databases such as Ancestry.com, Heritage Quest, so you can get started with your library card through your local library's website. Or you can go visit in person and talk with an expert in research, which is a librarian. We have a lot of physical materials in place, you know, that are people can check out, or they can come and peruse while they're visiting their library, that talks about various aspects of tracking down genealogy. And then we offer tons of resources that are all for free.
I mean, that is fantastic, and what a great place to start. Do most libraries across the country have similar resources?
The answer is pretty much yes. Public libraries, that's one of the standard services that we offer to our customers and our residents and our visitors. And each library system might have a little bit of a different configuration of what they offer, but it is a pretty standard feature that you'll find with your public library.
Yeah, and a lot of people think it's really, really difficult to research your family history. I know my brother just went to Greece to find our family, and he did because he just went to the village. But talk about finding your family genealogy. How difficult is that?
You know, it can be difficult depending on how much information you have, how far back you want to go, where the country of origin is. So, you know, different individuals or families can have different experiences, you know, how much information you start with. But the library is always going to be a good place to go get started with, because you'll have the resources right at your fingertips.
When we go to the library, where is the easiest place to start the process?
Go check at the reference desk. Every library has one, and ask the staff there or the librarian there, and they will be able to direct anybody who requests that kind of research assistance to where they have those resources within their buildings or on their website. If you came to visit us here in Phoenix Public Library, we have a unique resource called the Arizona Room. Which has one of our fun features here is we have a collection of yearbooks from various high schools all throughout the state of Arizona, going back at least 100 years. So if you come visit me in Phoenix, I'd love to show you the Arizona Room. That's one research aspect you could use for genealogy. But we're not alone in that. You know, the many public libraries across the country have unique collections that help support those wanting to track down their family ancestry.
Yeah, and I just think it is fascinating to find out that family history. Why do you think it's important for us to know our past and to have this knowledge?
It's fascinating and interesting, and you know, it's kind of a human interest all of us share in wanting to know a little bit more about where we might have come from. We want to verify certain information. There's medical information that comes from this. Every one of us probably comes from a very rich history of people and their stories and their journeys through their life. And, you know, it's a connecting thread. My own personal family, we've, you know, discovered other family members that we hadn't known before. And I found most of it, pretty much all of it, very rewarding.
Lee, great information. Thank you so much for joining us today to get us started on our research project. If you'd like more information about the Phoenix Public Library, just head to their website. Home remodeling is at an all-time high, and finding the right company can be difficult. The experts at Murray Lampert have been providing outstanding service to homeowners since 1975.
I always say that I have two bosses, my wife and my daughter.
So my great-grandfather, Murray Lampert, moved here from New York and started the business out of his apartment in La Mesa. Being family owned and operated to our customers is really important. They get that feeling that we can relate to them and their families.
The company has come a long ways over the last 47 years. We've always been a design build company, but now we've taken design, not only our architectural, but interior design to a completely different level.
We have a really motivated team here at Murray Lampert, and we love to empower our group to take responsibility for their projects and their designs and really get excited about it.
Everybody here at Murray Lampert is very nice, very welcoming, very willing to help as well.
We have a very thorough process of design development, and it starts with a consultation on the job site, speaking with the customers and checking out all the existing conditions. And then we go into design development and have a site meeting with our team who does very accurate measurements.
They'll use things like drones, lasers, even LiDAR scanners to measure the house. And then after that, it'll come back to the office and they'll build an accurate as-built model of the house.
There's a lot of times where we have our interior designers collaborating back and forth. Even though we have our own jobs, we still like to bounce ideas off of each other.
The design team and myself will meet, we'll look at the as-built model, and we'll go over the recap of what the homeowner's looking for, and we'll sketch them out, and we'll meet as a team and figure out like what layout's gonna work best for the space. And then once we all agree that this is going to be a layout that's going to work best, then it'll go to the senior architectural designer to model that space.
Of course, they're coming to us too for our expertise to say, will this work, do you think? Or how could we incorporate something like that? And a lot of the times we can, because we want to make the clients happy. That's at the end of the day, that is our main goal and our drive, is to make them happy.
It is a complex process, and it is something that we do all the time, and the people who come to us have a lot of time never done this before, and so we make sure that we put it in bite-sized pieces and guide them through it so that they can follow along and are involved in the process while still feeling like they can relax and have us do the heavy lifting.
I touch customers, Rachel does, and Lisa does too, and that attention and the feeling that people get from that is we want to really protect. Everyone understands the mission and everybody talks the same way because it's the same mission that everybody has in this company, and that's to make a customer happy with us. At Murray Lampert, together we create home.
One of the first steps to take when looking into your family history is to talk to your family. Relatives can give you all the information you need to help fill in the gaps. And many of them have items like family books and Bibles and pictures that could hold clues to your family's origin. So make it a plan. Go visit Grandma and Grandpa and start asking questions. All right, now let's take a look at what's ahead on Creative Living. We talked to a vegan influencer about a plant-based lifestyle and a simple DIY costume for your little one.
Creative Living is brought to you by Murray Lampert. Design, build, remodel. Together we create home.
November is World Vegan Month, so we wanted to get the latest information from vegan influencer Diana Edelman on plant-based eating.
My name is Diana Edelman, and I am the founder and CEO of Vegans Baby. Vegans Baby is a multifaceted project that I started in 2016 that's designed to help make vegan food and vegan life more accessible and approachable and show people that they're not missing anything by going vegan. I have a travel blogging background and a PR background, so I decided I would start a site that basically would follow me as I went and ate food around the city and showed people what was vegan and where we could find vegan food. Since then, it has grown to be not only a site, but I now curate tours around the world. I have a vegan dining month. I've expanded to multiple cities. And every year I put out the Las Vegas Vegan Dining Guide, which covers about 45 different categories of the best vegan food in Las Vegas. Being vegan means you are doing your best to cause no harm to other living things. So it is everything from not consuming animal products and animal byproducts to what you wear, to the products you use in your daily life, hair, shampoo, makeup, nail polish. It's a lifestyle that doesn't involve animals and animal byproducts. So there's three main reasons people go vegan. They go vegan for the animals, they go vegan for the environment, and they go vegan for health. There's been a lot of studies that have come out showing that if you go on a whole food, plant-based diet, that it can reverse heart disease and diabetes and things like that. But that's actually more that people are going plant-based because they're not necessarily going to make the whole vegan lifestyle change where they're not consuming any byproducts or anything like that. Vegan food is more than a baked potato, it's more than a salad, it's more than a plate of fruit, that there are restaurants out there that are just doing incredible things and showcasing the versatility of the cuisine and doing a really good job. We are here at Taco Terrier in Las Vegas, Nevada. They actually have 4 locations here in Las Vegas and they just opened one in San Diego. They are a plant-based Mexican eatery. They have the largest selection of tacos in the world, and they also have the world's biggest taco, which, no joke, is like the length of my forearm. There's an amazing spot in Las Vegas called Garden Grill that actually does a fried chicken bucket that's vegan, and it's phenomenal. There's a burger shop here called Underground Burgers, and those burgers are insane. You would never know that they're vegan. I created Vegan Dining Month 6 years ago, basically as an answer to Restaurant Week. I remember I was driving in Las Vegas and I saw a big billboard for Restaurant Week, and I looked up to see what restaurants had vegan options, and none of them did. And so it started in Las Vegas, and then we expanded to Portland and San Diego, and now this year it's Portland, Las Vegas, and New York City. Restaurants around the city have a vegan dish or a few vegan options, and then we pick a local charity, and so at the end of the month, a portion of the proceeds from those dishes sold will go to that local charity. Typically, it's an animal sanctuary. What I love the most about being vegan is that I wake up every morning knowing that I'm doing the least amount of harm and that I'm contributing to make the world a better place. It's so good.
Dressing up is one of the most fun things about Halloween, but it can be expensive. So let's get creative and make a costume your little one will love. This inventive pumpkin costume is made from a repurposed pillowcase. It's really easy, super cheap, and you can make it at home in no time at all. So let's get started. You'll need an orange pillowcase. You can get one online or steal one from your mom's 1970s linen closet. Green ribbon, black felt, an old folder, chalk, and fabric glue. At the opening end of the pillowcase, cut 2 2-inch slits on the side seam. Now this is where you'll thread the ribbon through the hole and out the other side. It ends up being the neck of the costume. And it represents the stem of the pumpkin. To make the armholes, measure 5 inches from the neckline. And for smooth, fatigue-free cutting, use your Kai scissors to cut an opening 4 inches long. This makes it easy for the child to wear a warm sweatshirt underneath the costume for hours and hours of trick-or-treating. Cinch the top and tie a bow, and we're ready to move on to the pumpkin face. Cut out a stencil drawing of eyes, nose, and a mouth for your pumpkin face. It can be as traditional or funny as you want it to be. I like to use an old folder to make my stencils. Lay your stencils on the felt, trace around them with chalk, and cut them out. Position your pumpkin face on the center of the pillowcase and use fabric glue to attach it. Next, with your Kai scissors, cut the bottom of the pillowcase. That's the end seam where the pillowcase is already sewn together. Fold up the raw edge, iron it flat, and hem it using a liquid stitch or sewing machine or needle and thread. Add a few stitches to gather the lower left and right sides to create a ruching effect for the curve of the pumpkin. There you have it, an easy, inexpensive, adorable pumpkin costume made from an upcrafted pillowcase. In addition to your local library, you can start your family history search online. FamilySearch.org is a free service, and it contains more than 2.4 million rolls of microfilm records from all over the country that have been digitized. Sounds pretty good, huh? But before you head online, let's just take a peek at what we have coming up. We tour some of the most opulent estates in the U.S. on our trip to Newport and the latest trends in outdoor spaces. The Gilded Age, which was made famous in the TV show Downton Abbey, refers to the period between the late 1860s to 1896. And the Preservation Society of Newport County gives us a tour of some of the opulent mansions that were built during that time.
The Preservation Society of Newport County maintains 5 critically important historic houses that are identified with the Gilded Age, beginning with Chateau-sur-Mer, which is actually a Victorian, but it was the first great stone mansion along Bellevue Avenue in Newport. And then there is Rosecliff, there are the Elms, Marble House, and the Breakers.
Given the fact that history is not taught in American schools in the way it used to be, historic houses like ours really become the classroom for people to learn about the history of our nation. So I think we play a very important role.
Here in Alva Vanderbilt's dining room, when you had lunch with Alva, when she had lunch with her children, only French could be spoken. Alva had a distinct attitude about the way Europeans looked at Americans, because from her experience, having grown up and been educated in France, she understood the Europeans pretty much thought of us as the Hicks from the sticks. Well, this pretty much dispels that myth, doesn't it?
Alva Vanderbilt is a remarkable figure in history and very interesting because she came from a middle-class family in the South. The family during the Civil War went to France, which was not unusual, to escape the ravages of war. She became a Francophile and came back to the United States, was fortunate enough to marry William Vanderbilt, one of the richest men in the world, and then went on to really make a stamp for the Vanderbilt family by building 2 glorious houses that were designed by Richard Morris Hunt and Alva. I think Americans, and actually Europeans and people around the world, because our visitation comes from an international body, people are very much interested in history and in architecture and in museums in general. And they're coming in droves, and they're coming as young people, and they're coming as older people. I think that we owe a debt of gratitude to Julian Fellows for writing that script and making it so interesting. And 9 o'clock on Sunday night, everybody was watching. The series introduces us to a period in history, in England, of course, not America, slightly later than what we represent, but the same kind of conflict. Downton Abbey is heart-wrenching in that you can see a family doing all that it can do to hold on to a piece of property and a lifestyle that they love, but it's harder and harder to do that. And you see that here in Newport as well.
The Preservation Society of Newport County gives over 1 million tours a year. And in fact, this summer we just gave our 40 millionth tour since we were founded in 1945. People visit mansions like Marble House here from over 100 countries and all 50 states. And it's an experience that is found at this building and 10 more locations around Newport. You can experience 250 years of American history, architectural as well as interior design and decorative arts, by visiting any one or all of these properties.
Don't go anywhere. Creative Living has more coming your way. We look at some of the trends in outdoor living. Manual builders in Louisiana are on the forefront of home building, and they talk to us about what buyers are wanting for their outdoor spaces.
Whenever you're thinking about planning an outdoor living space, you want to think about the purpose that you're going to use that space for. So if you like to sit around and watch a football game on a Saturday night, then maybe we do an outdoor fireplace like the one behind me. But if you're a big cook, then maybe we talk about putting a grill and a side burner or a sink outside. It's all about what you're going to use it for. I think the amount of people that come in wanting an outdoor space is really high. Everybody likes to be outside. We live in South Louisiana, so we want to spend time outside. Some of the major things that we see clients request for their outdoor spaces are gas grills, we have side burners, we've got built-in trash cans in the brick cabinetry with maybe a sink outside or a gas fireplace on the back patio. Definitely some ceiling fans because it gets very hot here. Outdoor living space always creates value. Equity is a tough question whenever you're talking about the real estate market and whenever things add value there, but whenever you're building a home, you want to build it for you, so it's all about the value that it creates for you and your family. I definitely see the outdoor living space continuing as a trend. Now that we're getting to a point where we can spend time with friends and family again, what we're going to want to do more than anything else is spend time on the back patio, relax, have some fun with our family and friends.
Thanks so much for joining us here on Creative Living. I'm Jane Klaus, and we'll see you next time.